Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Matt and John Make a Podcast. This is episode 94, our last episode before we go away for a full week. So we're just gonna say at the top we're not going to be having an episode next week.
Yep.
So we will be taking a week off, but before we leave.
Hey, we're actually in person.
Yeah, we've had some really bad luck as far as technical
Zoom
difficulties with Zoom.
Zoom was really
Yeah,
I don't.
Zoom was really bad.
I don't understand. That was to me more than internet. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I couldn't even get it was just connecting.
and
I couldn't even sign in.
yeah, and I said it was a good thing that we were only about 3 minutes in there and not say a hour.
Oh yeah, I would have been mad.
Yeah,
But
I would have been
to
really
hope
angry.
alleviate stuff in the future, I got some Wi-Fi extender hardwired in. I meant to do that before. Enhancement. Some internet enhancements. I know in general, but hopefully we'll see that happens. If we do, virtual again, which that's a good option for us to have. Because I know you were little cold like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, ever since COVID, I swear I have been battling shit, like constantly, whether it's just me being tired or a cough or what. So we have been going more. We have been going more virtual into with our schedules and work and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been harder getting getting in person, and that's pretty much why we are only doing one show per week, and we're no longer doing our wrestling shows. It's just way too much.
Yeah, it gets especially I think Mania weekend kind of burned us out.
Yeah, and I was definitely at that point,
Yeah.
and that was a week, and then a week after I tested positive for COVID, so that was when I got sick.
A whole smorgasbord of,
Yeah.
if you will, of stuff that happened that.
Well, and on top of that, we had our friends. Our friend's wedding on top of that, so there was that, and it was just a whole bunch of shit on top of us being pretty just tired or burned out, as you said. But now for this week we're gonna have some MCU talk, Matt.
To kick off the show. Yeah, to kick off the show. The first two topics.
Yep. With the recently released movie of Black Widow. And Matt, do you want to change the thing before we forget?
Again,
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
So
I was gonna say my segue was we're back in person, and so is movies.
yeah.
Unfortunately, you didn't get the chance to go back to the theater.
No.
I did.
I
I was on a date.
bit the bullet and paid the $30 there. So yeah.
Even though it's probably an easy question to ask, how did that work? Was that work on Disney Plus good? Paying and get it?
Yeah, it's just basically you just put in your same credit card information.
I felt like it would already charge you on that.
You would think, but when I put it in on my Apple TV, they were like, "Oh no, we still need your security code and everything."
I
there,
felt like
so.
they would just maybe because they want to get their money right away.
I'm guessing.
I would just think that they would just charge it like a monthly bill, like they would do
Yeah.
on if you order a pay-per-view, your next TV bill.
Yeah, I just kind of treat it as how we order how we order UFC
Probably
pay-per-views.
That's more
It's just a second paywall there. But I will say though,
There's probably a reason that I'm not too smart enough to figure out.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was
Yeah, for the film in general, I really feel like that's something that really hurt this, Matt. This really should have happened after Civil War. To me, like I don't know why this was placed right after Civil War, and like that was just like something. I'm like, why didn't we just have this about like about 5 years ago?
Right. When did they announce? Because I think what maybe goes into it was the end credit scene. Because when did they announce Hawkeye? It wasn't 5 years ago.
No, it was like when they had that. Basically,
was it end of like 19?
It was basically when Disney Plus came out.
Was it?
And they announced all of these shows, and that was where Hawkeye came, and how this ended. You clearly know where things are going, and with everything happening on like Loki and everything that happened there.
Turn you down.
Yeah, man, like
and that kind of ties into Valentina character,
exactly.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, which she was supposed to debut first in this movie, and then COVID. It was supposed to come out last year.
Yeah, and then COVID hit.
Yeah, I'm not overly like all up in arms, and I don't think you are too. I think you're playing devil's advocate here.
It's just like there are certain things about this film that just like I was like it could have been better. It could have been better.
I don't take the time. I don't take the time placement as like you see other people online like to me it doesn't.
It could have helped.
It could have helped, but like it still did good on the weekend.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I think they drew. I think they drew
80 million in the weekend, plus maybe an additional like 30 million on Disney Plus. So you made and then international. So they're still doing good.
Which by the way, I definitely think this is going to be a future.
To me, I feel like
here.
Yeah, to me, I feel like, and maybe this is not the best comparison, but I feel like it's like the Star Wars original trilogy and then the prequels. You already know what happened. Now you're going back to see leading up to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting knowing what happens when that perspective, going back to see the fill in the gaps. Even like Rogue One and all those like side stories. We already know what happens. Now we get to see fill in the gaps.
Yeah,
so to me, it wasn't that bad. Now was it if it was after okay,
yeah.
but then you're not going to have the end credit scene, but you can always do something different.
Were you disappointed that they didn't go dive deeper more into her when she was in the like Red Room and like her training and everything?
I swear we saw a part of that before.
It was like very, very short. Like it was like did they just glossed over it sort of thing? I really feel like that they should have had a deeper dive into that because we didn't really get a good look, I feel like, of how dangerous that she actually was back then. Because they obviously they explained how she got out, but they never actually explained like everything that pretty much led up for that.
I feel like that would have been better, that film plot, if that was leading up to Avengers, or either earlier on, because now it's like if you go in the time difference of where it's being released, it's like okay, we don't know, but we already know. Yeah. This way, it's more modern per se in the timeline. I don't know. I still we kind of saw the behind the scenes on that whole organization and the downfall, and then her family and the story like behind there, because we kind of saw we kind of saw like her and all that stuff and bits and pieces of her doing stuff back in the day, and even like leading up to in the Avengers and stuff. So I mean, it is a mystery, but it's not a mystery.
Right.
Again, like I said, if that backstory like leading right up until like Fury found her, and I think that would have been a good lead up film before Avengers, because like for me, I didn't know much about most, if not, well, I say most characters before like MCU really started to get going.
Yeah.
So like to me, it was like watching the Avengers. It was like Black Widow. Okay.
Yeah.
If there was a little bit more, I think that would have been perfect. And then maybe this would have been like a sequel.
Yeah, I really feel like that they should have at least, like, I wasn't expecting a full deep freaking dive into that, but I would have liked at least a scene or two where they're like showing her, like training and just her being completely
I just I don't think that was. I think as they're making this, obviously not the point. Obviously the focus.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen enough. I mean, so enough, but not the whole thing. But we saw like early childhood, and then them escaping, and fleeing. I guess from the U.S. government as Russian spies.
Yeah. Since this, I mean, this is happening right after Civil War, and
it's right before Infinity War.
Right. And like she's just on the run and like just trying to she never was going to be getting caught, and like she is just toying with these people. He was like, she's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
she isn't even trying here. It's just like
she's that good.
Yeah. There.
What did you think? I thoroughly was impressed and really enjoyed that opening credit like montage and stuff. It reminded me like James Bond.
Yeah.
I think the music choice was good. Like I was like, this is like the best opening like Marvel was done.
Yeah.
Like, and you had little clips of through her life. I thought that was like in the beginning. I was like, this is the best part of the movie this far. And like the opening thing, like I really enjoyed it. I thought that was really well done. And then kind of makes sense, like the James Bond-esque thing, because she's a spy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that had any influence. Hidden influence.
I mean, her character is pretty similar with that. So
pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that it like fit pretty well. I just wish that there were some things that they would have added on, but I mean, like, just it's just weird that this was probably it for her, for like Scarlett, in this role, because yeah, they're involving everything with the like multiverse, so they can always have her back and everything, but
yeah,
it's like, damn, it's going to be odd without her there, and stuff. But I think she's having her second kid now, actually. So she's currently pregnant right now. So so obviously, if she does come back, it's not going to be anytime soon.
right.
So yeah, and as you said, they did about 80 million on the opening weekend, and according to this, Rotten Tomatoes is giving them an 80% and a 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
I think that's the Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's the critics. I think last time I saw it initially, it was like 90% audience score, like something around 90.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much in line there.
Yeah. I thought Florence, was it Pugh, her sister? I think to me it was like stole the scene, stole the movie.
Yeah,
like, she was funny as hell.
Her and Scarlett were by far the best, but man, I hated David. I hated David Harbour's
Oh, did
character. They made him out to be such a freaking moron in this film. It's just like, it was like, man, he couldn't even like fight well. It's like every single huge, like fight scene he had, it was just he was basically having his like ass handed to him, or like he needed some help from either Scarlet or like
I think
Yelena
maybe
there.
I was going leaning to he's fat and out of shape, and he hasn't fought in years. That's what I'm attributing to it. But at the same time, he is technically a super soldier. But I guess maybe the Russian serum does not overcome fat and laziness.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what I attribute to it. It's like somebody trying to relive their glory days, and time is just
well, and you could tell he's just obsessed with Captain
America.
America. Like just every second he was asking Natasha about that, and she was just like, just shut up already. Like,
a couple of them are.
So
yeah, her sister, what's it? Lena.
Yep.
Just like we laughed. People were laughing in the theaters about her posing.
Yeah.
Why do you always do this?
Yeah, like when she
Why
flips her
pose?
hair. Yeah, when she flips her hair and everything.
It was just like it was some good humor.
Well, it was weird too because you never really see the side of Scarlett's character here. Like yeah, you see it here and there in the other films, but this was definitely a like sister thing here.
Yeah.
To where it was cool to see that, because to me those two were by far the two best characters in this film. So as we said, they're clearly are building to like Yelena is going to be going after Hawkeye. I would imagine that's going to be going into what's going on with the Hawkeye series, which is that coming out in 2020?
I think so. I know. I thought it was coming out. Was it coming out this year?
I'm not sure.
I don't. Hang on.
I'm not sure about that, but I mean, like I feel
maybe it's 20. I don't know.
I feel that's pretty obvious there. So yeah, and based on
it says 2021.
Okay, so
first it doesn't say when. It just says 2021.
Okay, so hopefully sometime this year, but and this will kind of segue us into like Loki, and shit is beginning to be set up, to say the least. If you want to click on the next
oh yeah, well, I was going to write this down.
Image there. So yeah, that is not how I thought that episode 6 was going to end, but we're going to be getting Secret Wars or
multiverse wars,
or like multiverse wars. Like this opens the freaking door now to where every single character that was killed off here, they can come back now, and just like they can bring the like same actors or completely different ones too.
Variants.
Yeah, so it's just
like
this.
I mean, technically, we saw at the end. Was it? How would he go by? Technically, Kong or Kang. Was it Kong the Conqueror variant? But it was he who. Who's past time, something like that. His variant of that. It was basically. I think it's basically himself. We saw at the end, like the statue at the end, which the heartbreaking moment of this Morbius doesn't know who Loki was, and it's just oh crap. And you saw the statue of Kong the Conqueror, which is, I think, the villain in the main villain in Ant-Man in the Quantum Mania. That thing. I think it was reported. I don't know how. I didn't look into it as because you see it like on these Facebook pages. You never know what's real or not. Right. That Loki's supposed to be in Doctor Strange now. The memes of Doctor Strange, just being like stressed out for seeing all the time.
I'm envisioning. Do you know of the gif of the guy walking into a like room with a piece or with like some pizza, and there is
fire. He walks in,
everywhere.
he's just like, oh, crap.
That is completely Doctor Strange
Yeah.
because between Loki and
Wanda
and like Wanda, it's like.
I think
This is a fucking mess.
I think Loki did the most damage because you just see that timeline and it's just like a tree.
It's like there's
like that opens up and then obviously Spider-Man. We already know there's shenanigans going on there.
Well, yeah, they're going into
The multiverse there basically. Which the confirmed, unconfirmed of 3 Spider-Mans, the old Spider-Mans there. We have old villains played by the same in the other movies. And is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
No, like pretty much this opens up everything now, and for people to come back or for people to cross over now, it's like
to enter because obviously we're getting Fantastic Four down the line, a couple years. Potentially there was no news, but it's probably in the works, like X-Men
that will eventually come.
That would happen.
And there have been like rumors of like Hugh Jackman possibly coming back, which I hope to God that he does, because that man deserves to be under a franchise that actually knows what the hell that they're doing. Even though
that people will lose their minds.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I'm really hoping that happens. But
and we got the first official, even though it's kind of unrelated, but Deadpool into the MCU doing a movie review with Korg.
Yeah, that was hilarious, by the way.
That was the funniest thing. That was the most Deadpool way to introduce Deadpool in the MCU.
Especially when he's talking about himself too.
Self in that movie with Taika Waititi in the same movie. And beautiful brand recognition right there.
And two, he's like presenting himself as a like YouTube guy.
Right,
so
yeah.
it's just like like hey, like subscribe.
This smells like a not Foxfire cell kind of.
Yeah.
Disney buying Fox, and it was. I prefer Dark World.
Yeah.
I was raised by avocados. Oh my God, kill me now. So we get Deadpool in the MCU. Who was I talking to? It's like, because it'd be hilarious. You know how there's no oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. The creator of Marvel. Oh,
Kevin Feige.
No, like comics.
Like Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stan Lee. Holy shit, I couldn't think of that. Instead of Stan Lee cameos, because they're done, have Deadpool cameos, just random Deadpool.
Good. It's like absolutely should be
1 second like cameos, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, hell, give me that, and I'll.
Like I saw that, and we're getting another season. Because they officially announced season 2.
Yeah, season 2 is coming back.
So we'll see probably more of Sylvie.
Yeah, pretty much all of his other selves too. On top of that.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. They'll probably flesh out details that the movies might have missed, because that's a lot of details.
I still want to see Thor seeing Kid Loki again, just to see what that.
Well, if it's our Thor, he won't know that because he doesn't know they exist. But but the Kid Loki's like, oh my God, it's like, what's this kid gonna do? And then get his ass handed to him. Because we're gonna see Thor in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is gonna be that's gonna be hilarious. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like now. There's so much crap, and even I think the Loki director was like, "This is the whole like MCU for like Phase 4 is like change. It's gonna be so different now." So technically technically this was Phase 4, but the first movie is Chang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Which I believe that's coming out in August or September.
Yeah, so that really kicks it off.
Yeah.
And we know Wong from Doctor Strange. He's fighting. I don't know who the character is, the monster, but he's in the movie.
Yeah,
because people saw him. It's confirmed. Like that one fighting scene.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't remember. I can't think of it. But yeah, so like, I know people are like looking at Shang-Chi and like, what is this? But like, nobody Guardians of the Galaxy was really nothing, and then it blew up. So this could be. It's a start. It'll show us the direction of where they're going.
Can't be worse than what Captain Marvel was. That's all that I gotta say about that.
I don't know how everybody hates that movie.
Even your like girlfriend wasn't too crazy about that one either.
That is true. I enjoyed the movie. It was good.
Hey, you write a better show.
You write a better movie. I said, I don't see you doing it. You know why I'm not doing it? Because I can't write a better show. Yeah. Because I sucked. It didn't. Jesus Christ, it didn't suck.
But
it's still like pizza. You may not enjoy the pizza, but it's still pizza. It's still good pizza. It's still Marvel. Right. Still a better direction with DC.
I mean, that's not exactly saying.
Yeah,
much, but
I gotta find that.
But like, and speaking of DC, Suicide Squad is also coming out like next month too.
Yeah, the reboot.
John Cena.
The reboot of the first one because.
Hey, like James Gunn is.
I know.
Directing this, so there is a chance.
It's just frustrating how like they're just.
It's
the first one that didn't happen. Yeah. Like, come on, DC, get your shit together. There's some good movies.
Will Smith from like Men in Black. You do not remember this. So
it never happened.
It never happened. But something
we're gonna kill all these people again.
But something that did happen was the home run derby in the All-Star game, Matt.
Segue.
So
I appreciate that segue.
Yeah, and
yes.
Click us over to our baseball screen. Freaking Pete Alonso just annihilated
baseball. It wasn't even close.
Jesus Christ, like he had 35 home runs or 36 home runs in the first round, and like what sucks for Salvador, he had 27 and he had the second most home runs in like round one, but the only bad thing was against the guy who had 35 there. So, but man, he dominated, and you could tell that Ohtani, he doesn't take any batting practice whatsoever because man, he was exhausted. Like
he started out like, I was like, uh-oh.
He started off really slow, and he eventually got back, and like, man, I thought he was gonna win that in the final few seconds, but he was just completely exhausted, and you could tell there, you know.
And then they went to a swing off with a minute, and they tied again. And then when they went to three hits, it wasn't timed. I was like, it's over because he needs time to warm up.
Yeah. Same
thing with the regular timed and then extra. Yeah. Once he gets his groove on, he's good. Yeah. But I was like, oh, he misses the first one, it's over.
But man,
and I kind of like was deflating because it's like, I don't want to watch this now because I kind of want to see Ohtani.
And what's even more crazy with Pete Alonso, it was the final round and he was not tired at all.
He was jamming with the music.
Yeah, he was bumping with the music, and just like it. And what was crazy, in the final round, he went 7 for 7, and just that was it. That was it. Like I think he called time or something, and then he went 7 for 7 with the time left, and that was it. And
yeah, he just called it just to call it.
Yeah, I mean that was that was great, and the crowd they were also really good too. So yeah, that was a really entertaining game there. Then we had the All-Star game. Man, Vlad Jr.,
which I didn't watch.
Just he got grooved a slider right over the heart of the plate, and that thing got out of the stadium so freaking quick you could hardly even blink. And like they had Tatis I'm like a mic too, which was hilarious, by the way, because they also had a mic to when he was hitting, and as soon as he flew out, he was like, "Fuck." He was like, "Hey man, I'm not sure if you know, but you're mic'd." So that was hilarious. But man, but also Matt, Adam Frazier's trade value took another increase here, because man, he looked really good there, and man, he had a really good defensive play there.
Is that the one he was going to his right, picked it up, and then tossed?
And first,
whoever he got out on first. Was it Tatis?
Ohtani, actually.
Oh, that's right, Ohtani.
That was Ohtani.
I know it was somebody big name.
Yeah, between him and like Reynolds nearly homering, like it was like about a like few feet, and he would homer there, but like Aaron Judge's freaking huge ass had to get in the way there. So man, between a Frazier and like Brian Reynolds, they played really well there, and it's just so weird because for how bad that the Pirates are, they have two All-Star games.
Yeah, that's well. Hey, so you have good players on all the teams. Like, hey, I always laugh. I bring a Tawny up in there. It's on the Angels, and what are the Angels sitting like next to
between
last?
him, Trout, Rendon? Like they have all of these really really good players, and they're paying them a lot of money, and they're not even over 500. They're not even over 500.
They're like it's Angels. You talk about Angels, and why is this not working? And then it's just like, oh yeah, that's right. They're somehow not good.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that they're
40. No, 45 and 44.
Okay, slightly over 500.
9 games behind first, behind the Astros.
Yeah.
Behind, so it's Houston, Oakland, Seattle, and then them, and then the Rangers. So like, and they're negative 26 run differential.
Jesus Christ.
How?
How different are they? Are they currently from the Pirates as far as
record?
Or no,
like just run differential.
Yeah, like run.
So I think it's no.
I'm afraid.
So what did I say? Angels negative 26.
I'm afraid to even ask.
Pirates negative 122.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But that'll kind of segue us into the Pirates here. Man, it's been a hell of a week for current GM Ben Cherington. Like he caught a lot of criticism for drafting Henry Davis first overall, but he had a master plan, one would say, because he drafts with his first 4 picks 4 guys in the top 32 in this draft, which, man, and by all accounts, all of these guys are going to be signing, and like one of those guys, Bubba Chandler.
That's a hell of a name right there.
He was committed to the University of Clemson
to play quarterback.
Clemson. and like
Scholarship,
a four star recruit, and he pretty much as soon as the Pirates drafted him, he said, I'm signing.
These people, they have these deals in place already, or at least something, because
Right.
wasn't it that like they cut to him like at his house and he already has the Pirates hat on?
Well, it was that. It was like basically an hour later, he already changed his
they've talked to him.
Yeah, I mean, like,
because this draft works different. It's not like you draft these, they're yours. You're gonna see them next season. No, you draft them to have like it's basically the right to negotiate with them in the slot value. Not everybody has the same amount of money to spend on the draft.
Right.
Pirates had the most because of the first
14
overall,
million,
14 million in each slot. They're different slots. I don't even understand it. I don't even try to understand
so
it.
basically, with like Henry Davis at like his current spot, that was slated at like $8 million, but he's gonna be paid significantly less, and that's why they took him because in order to sign a like Bubba Chandler and the guy who was also committed to like Penn State, who was also considered a hard sign. So like he was also another guy who they're gonna have to pretty much overpay in order to like get him out of his commitment. But all things that are being said is basically these guys are going to be signing, and man, based on everything, Matt, like this has been a great week for the team. Like it's just how far this farm system has come in 1 year, where they were ranked 25th when like Ben Cherington came here, and now they're probably are gonna be ranked second. Second or
what were
like
they
third.
now? What were they before the draft?
Fourth.
Oh, okay.
Fourth. So they're probably are gonna be second or third, and if they trade Adam Frazier, which I expect them to, and man, his freaking value is going to be really high there.
Ideally, if in a perfect world, I would not want them to trade them, because I think you can. He is a part of a foundation of young guys you can build around.
True, but at the same time too, he is going to be turning. He's going to be turning 30.
Yeah,
and on top of that, I don't think he's going to be having these kind of like numbers.
I just wish in the ideal world.
Oh yeah, in the ideal world, but
if the players he can get back for him, I mean, you look at the Musgrove deal.
To me, like if I'm Cherington, if I'm not getting at least one or two top like 50 guys, I'm not even considering this.
No.
He's batting .330 right now. He has the most hits in the National League. Like it's just and on top of that, he's under control for what 2 or 3 more seasons. Like it's like that price needs to be high.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get
needs to be
like
high.
almost a major league ready player.
Yeah, like
couple top maybe, which is probably like a top 10, top 20, top 30.
Right.
Just a bunch of crap.
It's just like
a good haul.
And man, it just shows you just why Cherington was so highly praised at Boston and at
Toronto.
Toronto. It's just because he builds farm systems. He knows how to scout players and how to find them. And
in his team too. We give not just him, but his people.
So like trades too, man, have just been incredible.
So I mean, it's early on in his tenure here, but
so far so good.
Once the deadline comes, we'll really see the deadline, because Musgrove was a trade, but I think when a deadline move like this, we'll see what he can get back. His draft so far, it's been a solid draft.
Yeah. And hell,
because I don't know all the at least like when it comes drafting, I swear, besides like leader or whatever, and
like
Kumar. Like, I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, I only do because basically I have been like following this for so long now.
And this Bubba Chandler, I never heard of him before. And then you read up on the stats and you see everybody going, holy crap. And you're like, okay, I guess this is good.
Yeah, like pretty much.
And he can hit. He's a pitcher.
Yeah,
and he's
like shortstop. He's a shortstop too.
Yeah, and he can hit. I'm not saying another Otani, but like, but he had like it was like 8-1, something one, like a very low ERA,
like it's
and a good average. So it's versatile.
And from what Dejan Kovacevic kind of explained this as, is like picture this as the NFL, except that you got four first round guys.
Yeah.
But the fourth guy you got like 70, which I believe was like Bubba Chandler, and the second round pick who they got Anthony
Davis. No,
not Anthony Davis.
I don't know why Davis came to my head. That's probably because you said Anthony.
He was a like left-handed pitcher who had the funky wind up or whatever. It looks cool as hell, but he was ranked, I think, at like 20, and the Pirates got him at like 33. So it was just like, and then and from the guy out of Penn State who was committed there, I think he was like ranked at like 18ish or something like that. They had four guys in the top 32.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. And I mean, like, and it's just something I just don't understand.
There we go.
Yeah,
Bubba. Well, I'm looking. So not to go back. So Bubba Chandler, round 3, pick 72.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he was 8-1 with a 1.25 ERA, 96 strikeouts.
Jesus Christ.
Batting .411, 8 home runs, and 34 RBIs.
My God.
So here we go. We have Anthony Solimento.
Yeah. Like,
number 28 draft. This is all from Baseball America. Number 28 draft prospect. Okay, Lonnie White Jr.
Okay.
Maybe that's him.
Yep.
Number 32, Chandler, number 20, and Henry Davis, number 4.
Yeah. And I think and supposedly Henry is going to be signing as like early as this weekend, which will get him right into his career. Like, I'm expecting a like fast track for him, honestly. And just for how well this man can freaking hit, like, that's gonna be an asset, because I think he was considered as the best hitting prospect in the MLB draft there. So between him and Nick Gonzalez last year, who was also regarded as the like best hitter there, Pirates are really loading up on that.
We got Anthony Solimento, again, round 2, pick 37. This is through 32.2 innings pitched, I believe, this year. 5-0, .21 ERA, 64 strikeouts. Like I said, 28 prospect in Baseball America, 17th in MLB pipeline.
Yeah.
So that might be the one with the funky run up. So
that's it.
Hopefully they can get him.
Man, it's just like when I saw him and like Bubba Chandler, I like marked out for that one. I was like, Jesus Christ, they're going to try and get the guy who's signed on as a quarterback.
And they freaking his pitcher still Clemson, but as ball player for the Pirates.
Well, and he had an interview the other day, and pretty much he said, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with like football." It's and the fact that he said that pretty much tells me that he has already talked with the Pirates about a contract and everything. So they probably have all of that stuff.
I like this Solimento. I think he mentioned
He's a Steelers fan.
And the Pirates in their Instagram story, and he goes, "It's a pleasure to be a part of the organization. Let's win a World Series."
Yeah,
I like him already.
And also he's a huge Steelers fan on top of that. So like he's gonna fit right in. so yeah, I'm really excited about this team's future. Now, granted, we're still probably a good 2 or 3 years from that even being a conversation.
Yeah,
but man,
it's a good start.
It's a good start.
It's a good foundation. It's better than not.
And I tell you, that's something that's so annoying to me is people who don't understand what the business of like baseball is. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen on Twitter this week people who are criticizing people who are being excited about the team. Like, it's just something I just don't understand from people. Like, you know, when something good does happen, oh, they have to shit on you for being hopeful and stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was already.
And it just, man, like I don't know how people don't understand. You can't win if you don't have a good farm system. Every team who has won a freaking World Series needs at least a decent farm system, a decent farm, because even for teams such as Boston, LA, New York, and all of these huge markets, they can't just simply like pay out these insane contracts.
How many what first thing that comes to mind was like a Chris Bryant from the Cubs.
Yep.
Like, they didn't trade for him. That was in their system.
Kershaw.
I mean,
Kershaw.
Yeah, I don't think they traded for Bryant to get to the system, but they draft probably, yeah. But they were, regardless, they're in the system, worked their way up. It wasn't like they traded; he was already ready.
Hell, like
McCutcheon for us.
I'm like Trout,
yeah,
Trout.
But like, and then obviously you have to see how they develop and how they perform in major league level. And let's say, and for Trout, for all those we just named, they come and then get paid, whether or not
Aaron Judge,
you can afford them or willing to pay all that, and unless somebody else does, it's another story for a different day. But baseball is all about prospects. Football is about drafting.
Yep.
Pretty much any sport is about
except for basketball. Basketball is like the only sport where like it's not as important, but hockey, football, baseball, like
foundations.
That is your foundation. Like,
look at because we're close to home. Look at Penguins, minus the Crosby. That's obvious. Like Gensel or Brian Rust, who
Malkin.
Well, I'm true. I mean, all of them. I've take away the big stars here. Mm-hmm. That like, otherwise you don't Bluger. You don't think about in the minors. Like, before Brian Rust got called up, did anybody really talk about him?
Nope.
And
he was pretty much
another person,
a fourth line guy.
And he came up and just
kept on scoring. He kept on scoring like that
in big games, especially in Game 7 on that run.
Mm-hmm.
And Gensel comes, scores first, and just that playoff run, he was on something on another level.
Yeah.
And people, they developed. You don't know, and then hey, you sign. But
yeah, and that's, it's just how the game is structured. Now, I think it's still dumb, but like there should be at least some form of a salary cap. But as long as this current business is going to be successful for the game and like for the owners, it ain't gonna change. So that's how the Pirates are going to be able to compete. Is they're going to have a consistent, steady line of prospects. That's how teams such as Tampa, Cleveland, I'm like Houston,
Kansas City,
Kansas City. Like, that's how these teams
Milwaukee.
and like Milwaukee, Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
It's just like that's how you're going to be able to sustain.
And then the other thing is, do you have the money, the capital,
right,
to spend and to keep these players? Because it's not like a salary cap. Everybody has the same amount of money to spend,
right.
and it's just have to finagle. A salary cap would bring more parity to baseball. Look at hockey.
Well, and the difference is between hockey, they were just losing so much
money.
Yeah.
Well, NBA is a salary cap, right?
Yeah.
And look at there's parity this year because you have the Suns and the Bucks, right?
Yeah, but I feel like this is a like admiration though too because there's been a ton of superstars hurt.
But for me as a casual NBA watcher, casual underline, italicized, all that, it's just like, oh, there's those teams exist. Like you never hear of them per se, compared to like the bigger name teams like the Celtics, the Lakers, the Golden State Warriors, and all that, Spurs.
And I can tell you one thing about the NBA is like that
Knicks.
that has actually hurt them. Is like they've had the same teams in the NBA finals every single year, and like you're seeing it this year because I think they have been averaging at least 8 or like 9 million viewers per game, which is pretty good right there for as many people who have been hurt. People are tuning in, and that has been the problem with like baseball is like people aren't tuning in, and like they need to figure out a way to solve that, whether it's a competitive competitive thing or something there. They really need to figure that out. But I am pretty excited about the Pirates. Hopefully soon we can start to talk more about the about the major league team and not just about the prospects and everything. So yeah, and now we're gonna move on, Matt, to UFC 264. Jesus Christ. So we were so this was pretty crazy. We were originally going to go down to the casino until we found out, oh hey,
you have to pay.
Yeah, like you have to pay so
to get a seat.
So we said screw that.
Then we were gonna go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and then plans changed again, and a friend's like, come over my place. Yeah. Always want to have people. I'll get the pay-per-view. And went, okay.
It was interesting because man, all of these people except for Niz just didn't know a damn thing that was going on. So I had to explain a lot of things, which honestly, it was fun though because you can really tell when people have like never have seen this before. A good example was on that opening fight of the pay-per-view, and Sean O'Malley is just beating the living crap out of this poor guy, and he's just like not even blinking. It just keeps on marching forward. You're like how is he still standing?
He was like a zombie.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Like anybody else, like would have been like down for the count.
I just like and that was crazy to me.
And I'd give him credit. He was a tough SOB there. Yeah. Had no chance of winning, but all you have to do is somehow connect one freak punch.
Well, and the thing was too, Sean, he was getting really tired, and you could tell.
Yeah, he was probably getting frustrated as hell.
And that too, and he was constantly looking up at the clock there on top of that. So
I probably would too. Like, what the hell do I have to do?
He threw everything, and the freaking kitchen sink at him, and he still just was not going down. And but yeah, so like he won, and then man, Ty Tuivasa just sends Greg Hardy into freaking orbit with, oh man, was that a nasty KO? And then after he's doing a like whole bunch of like shoeies and everyone there, Matt, was just like was so confused about that. They were like, why is he drinking beer out of people's shoes? I was like, it's sort of his thing there, which and someone dumped like hot sauce into one of the shoes, and like you can see him spitting like beer, and fell on his shit there. So that was funny. And then the co-main event, which I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, Wonder Boy versus Gilbert Burns, which not the most exciting fight. And you could tell with like Gilbert, he was playing extremely safe. He was just constantly taking down Wonder Boy, and he was successful, and he edged out a 29-28. And then we get to the main attraction, Matt. Connor gets his leg shattered, and he loses yet again to Dustin Poirier. And after the fight, you would think, hey, like he would be humble and everything. No, still talking shit, still talking to
Connor being Connor.
Connor being Connor's talking about Dustin's wife, and he's saying like that was a doctor stoppage, blah blah blah. And afterwards, like it's getting so bad now. Like he went onto Twitter, he's like threatening Poirier's family, his daughter, and everything. Now I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He looks so horrible, and now he's gonna be out for a full year now. And I tell you, I don't know who he can beat inside of the like top 10 at like 155, because and on top of that, he's gonna be out for a full year. He's gonna be 33 when like he fights again, if he fights again,
right?
And like I just don't know, like realistically, what else he can really do. Like the only other fight that you would probably want to see is probably him. It's probably him versus Nate 3. It's the only other fight that I would personally want to see. But anything else, like I don't want to see anyone inside of the top 5, because he's just going to get his ass kicked. Like it is so obvious to me that he is just not on these guys level.
I feel like anymore. He's over the hump.
Yeah. It's just like
of his career.
Yeah. Like it's just, he can't like wrestle. And for some stupid reason, he decides to freaking pull guard and trying to submit like Dustin, which was one of the most idiotic things that he could have done. But I also think too that he was probably hurt, which might have been why
people were speculating. I don't know in relative to that submission of when he got hurt. You see it crack, because I think it was stuff that he might have had a fracture or something before going in that fight.
Actually, he did.
Yeah.
So basically, he said that he had a small stress fracture when he was in camp, and basically when he fought Dustin, it just like it completely shattered, because I believe he actually had a like rod put into his leg there, which, man, like that's gonna be really hard to come back from. And man, between like him, Anderson, and like Chris Weidman, these guys who are having their freaking legs shattered, it's like ugh.
Yeah, I felt like every last how many pay-per-views we've seen like a gruesome.
Yeah, it's like man, it's a freaking game, and it's just, I think we're going to be seeing this more. It's just like MMA, it's just constantly changing. It's constantly evolving. So man, and So I don't know where Connor goes there but for the show itself, Matt, UFC 264 had like 1.3 million it had 1.3 million pay-per-view buys across ESPN plus and like 1.8 total, which is also including international buys there, which is pretty much what I said was like around like 1.7 or like 1.8. So I think regardless, Connor is going to be getting you at least 1.3 million buys. Like I feel like that's going to be a pretty consistent thing.
Yep.
But as far as him challenging for a title, I feel like that those days are completely over at this point.
Yeah, he would have to work his way back up and earn the shot.
Yeah.
And with his leg injury, who can he compete at a high level against the rest of these competitors?
Right.
I
Because and I'm gonna pull up what the current rankings are right now because as currently slated Dustin he's going to be fighting Charles Oliveira for the title next, which I would assume is going to happen at the end of 2021. And look, like, can he beat a like Justin Gaethje, a Charles Oliveira, a like Michael Chandler? I mean, I think he could beat Ferguson, but RDA, Hooker, Islam, hell no. It's just good freaking luck. Like it's just he is so far behind, and to me, Connor has made so much cash in the sport. It's going to be hard to be able to stay consistently motivated, to constantly train, to what he was back in like 2016 and like 2015. It's not the same guy.
No.
And Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said no.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know who he can realistically beat inside of that top 10 outside of Tony, and even so with Tony, he's not going to submit him. He's not going to like finish him. And as we have seen for a long time, Connor's cardio has just been horrible. So yeah, it'll be all very interesting to see. But it was a really crazy night, a like fun night, but a crazy one, to say the least. And all right, we're going to end the podcast on just some professional wrestling talk. And Matt, before we even signed on here, we had some news from our friends at Fightful, who are now reporting that it is expected that we're going to be getting Bobby Lashley versus Bill Goldberg once Jesus Christ, for the WWE title, which I'm asking like myself and anyone else, who the hell wants to see this freaking match? Do you?
No.
Matt, he does not. And I just don't understand, man, why they have to go back for these people who, like, quite frankly, that like no one wants to see. Now, outside of like that match, like I feel like SummerSlam is setting up pretty nicely, honestly, because I feel like between Cena, Roman, Edge, and Seth, you would think we're maybe are getting maybe like Becky versus versus like Rhea and Sasha versus like Bianca. So like those like 4 matches I feel are setting up pretty well, and they in WWE they are coming back for fans. And the last time I checked, Houston was sold out for SmackDown, and I think that they were pretty much sold out for like Money in the Bank on Sunday. And up until I heard this report, I thought that the clear front runner to win Money in the Bank was like Big E. Now I'm not so sure. How do you feel about that?
Do we have the list of who's in it?
Yeah,
because I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll pull up the card.
Because I was reading on the Goldberg stuff.
Yeah.
And it says it was plans as of Thursday, which is today as the recording. Be there Monday. Likely see him in the SummerSlam match against Lashley, but wasn't specifically noted for a title.
Yeah, let's hope so. As far as
if it happens, as long as Lashley wins, I don't give a crap.
Which he's going to because I don't think.
I'm just saying, as long as if Lashley like destroys him relative,
which he should by the way.
Then I'm fine. Then I'll deal with it.
Yeah. So currently for Sunday's card, Lashley versus Kofi. I would assume like Lashley wins.
I think Lashley's gonna win after
Roman versus Edge. Roman. I mean, let's not even consider this. Although it's going to be a like awesome match for sure, but is zero way that they are taking that they're taking that title off of him. Rhea versus like Charlotte 3000. Do they put the title onto Charlotte here?
As of right now, I'll say it would not. I wouldn't. I would say.
I am like hoping no, because
I'm leaning no, but it wouldn't shock me.
Because I do not want to see Charlotte versus Becky again. Give us a freaking match that hasn't happened before.
I would. I'm gonna say no, but it's possible.
Yeah, it's absolutely possible.
It was possible. I don't know how they've been building it because I haven't been watching it weekly.
It hasn't been good.
I know it hasn't been good, but I don't know what the main thing is. But I would say I'll lean that there's retention here.
Yeah.
But again.
Yeah. And like
Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle,
McIntyre.
Drew, Big E, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke, and Seth.
That is a really good match.
It is. That is a good stack.
That's gonna be a car crasher. I think it's either like Drew or like Big E. I don't think that it's going to be Seth. I don't think it's going to be Seth, who I think was the only other dark horse that I could see here.
The dark horse. Okay, here's my dark horse.
Or
Shinsuke.
Or like Riddle.
Or Riddle. Like Riddle. I say Riddle. Like the Riddle and Shinsuke is my dark horses because of Riddle and Shinsuke have been respectively have been shown off more. Mm-hmm. Shinsuke is like destroying Baron Corbin's life. It's hilarious.
That is entertaining as hell.
That's the most like invested I am in Corbin. Like it's
Broken
good.
Corbin.
Broken
Corbin is freaking awesome.
They did the cameo. Goes, I'm poor. I need the money.
And like he started
He's growing hair out again. He's not shaving. Oh, it's great.
And also this past week he started a like cameo account.
Yeah, it's like I need them. I'm poor. I'm down. I need that extra cash.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because he's still on the contract, but still. Ricochet's in there to do the spots. Probably same thing with Morrison, but
I mean, like I mean, I personally would go. I would definitely go with either like Big E or like Riddle.
Owens, I know they're not going to do it, but Owens has been talking up on us, talking smack, and he's not done.
I would be fine. I would be fine.
But
with
at
that
the same
too.
time, I kind of want. I don't want Drew.
Anyone but freaking Drew will be
Yes.
between
Anyone
him,
but Drew.
Yeah, it's just like to me, they need to be really careful with Drew. He slowly is becoming a 2015 version of like Roman Reigns, which you don't want to be. You don't want to be 2015 Roman Reigns.
They're on the cusp of that happening.
You're really damn close.
I would rather. I think Big E is the obvious choice. There's nothing wrong with Big E. Again, there's nothing wrong with really anybody. Like, if anybody else wins except Drew, I'm not going to be mad.
Right. Well, to me, if like Drew wins, I'm like, man, they.
You know what? And to me, next down, Owens. If people I don't want to win, it's
I'd
Drew.
be fine with them.
And final, and then distant second is Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Everybody else would be. I wouldn't hate. I think in last place would be Ricochet, but the fact that they put him in here for probably to do the spots and give him. It seemed like they're back high on him again, which I would be shocked if he won. In a fantasy, like Morrison going on a singles run would be nice.
Like mid card, mid card, I would love to, because to me that is where he should be and where he will thrive. But I tell you something that will definitely not be thriving. It's his fucking women's match here. That looks horrible. That looks horrible.
I think it does, horrible. But I think I have a feeling in my surprise. I think it has the making of living, surpassing expectations. Like, it looked horrible, but son of a bitch, that was good.
Like Asuka, Naomi, Alexa, Nikki Cross, Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega, Natalia, and Tamina.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Jesus.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Like,
5, 6. There was rumors of getting Sonya Deville in the match,
which I would have much prefer her over a Tamina or a Natty, a Zelina Vega. Like,
Selena is back, so she's fresh.
Yeah, it's just.
I would Natalia.
Like Nikki Cross, aka Nikki Ash, as she's going by now.
Did any of the trolls online go Nikki Ass yet?
I'm kind of surprised that I haven't seen that yet.
I'm not calling her that. I'm just saying it's just it's just open season for the trolls.
Oh, and something I had zero idea about, AJ and like Homos versus the War Raiders.
That's not what it says, Sean.
The War Raiders.
They're not.
I am not calling them by that stupid, shitty name.
The Viking Raiders?
The War Raiders, as they were in NXT.
The Viking Raiders.
Yeah. And we also have. Okay. Actually, no, that isn't official there. So I'm not sure if that's gonna be added on. On SmackDown, but man,
assume it will
Usos versus the fucking Mysterios. I would love to freaking see that. I mean, like that. I mean, those guys will put on a freaking clinic there.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that will get added.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So if they add that, that would be 7. Like 7 matches there. So I would assume that that's going to be added.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure, unless they put that on that picture of just death and destruction to your ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as far as other news, Matt, so we saw on NXT that like Mandy Rose is going back down to NXT, and supposedly Aaliyah is getting called up on like Raw, which that's going to be interesting.
I'm calling it now. It's not going to work out.
Yeah. Same here. So she looks like that she's going to be taking over we're like Robert Stone, and she's going to be a manager down there.
Even though like Robert Stone didn't It was open for interpretation when I watched it.
Yeah,
it wasn't like they dumped him, but then the thing that adds to it too is that you have crap. What's her new name?
Frankie
Monet is in the mix there, which was trying to pull Aaliyah and Jessie Camilla away. Yeah. So there's a whole thing going on that I don't know where they're going with it.
I'm not sure either, but so you got that going on, and if there was any doubt whether Samoa Joe was getting back in the ring,
I don't think it's happening, John.
That was put to rest.
Don't think it's happening.
That was put to rest when Karrion Kross puts Joe to sleep. I would be stunned if this is not going to be our main event on SummerSlam weekend, and I'm absolutely. We are getting a new NXT World Heavyweight Champion.
I can easily buy if anybody who beats
Joe
is Joe.
I mean, the only other guy I could see who could beat Karrion Kross is Walter. Walter is the only other guy. So
as of now, yes.
So to me,
he's hurt now,
and this would also explain why they have been teasing Joe and Pete Dunne and pretty much. Everyone else,
whole damn main event scene.
Right. So pretty clear this is eventually where they're going. And the fact that we haven't seen a Finn Balor on either Raw or SmackDown yet gives me hope that maybe he'll stay on NXT. But then again, they could be also waiting until after SummerSlam for him too.
Oh, there's reports of surprises this weekend.
Yeah.
So you would have to see after this weekend on Monday with fans coming back. Maybe they're holding them back, especially with all these call-ups.
Yeah.
The rumored and almost confirmed call-ups.
Oh, and speaking of call-ups, did you see that there looks like that they're doing Adam Cole versus Bronson Reed too?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! That's. I mean, if they have that on Takeover, please take
that Takeover. Cross Joe.
I would think that we're probably are getting Raquel versus Dakota Kai. I feel like that's probably
we're getting Xia Li next week.
Yeah.
Oh, we had Thatcher in Ciampa attack. Oh my God,
Pete
Dunne and Oni Lorcan. So that tag match would just be a fight.
Did they do anything with the women's tag titles, Io and?
Not this past week.
Okay.
I think they were left off.
Yeah,
they mentioned it, but it was more.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so there's that.
There's time to. I guess you'll probably see him next week.
Yeah, and as far as on Dynamite, which that was a freaking insane show last night on Wednesday night. Man, if there is one thing, Matt, that I think you should definitely watch, Cody and Tommy End, aka Malachi Black. I mean, that was a awesome segment. That crowd was eating up everything that was on that, and that crowd in general was one of the hottest wrestling crowds I have ever seen. So that was good. And man, Christian versus Matt Hardy was way better than it had any freaking business being. And on top of that, the crowd was eating that up, and Dr. Britt Baker, I say this every single week, she cuts another hellacious promo, and just buries Nyla and Vicky just so awesomely. I freaking love that, and man, she was super over there too. I can only imagine what she's going to get when she comes back home here in about a month here, which is hard to
imagine,
believe there, but
believe, yeah.
So there's that, and Darby pretty much killing himself. I mean, which seems to happen a lot.
I
with
guess it's another week.
I tell you, man, like, and we also found out, and we also found out, and we also found out for the ratings, AEW did, I think, like 1.02,
something like that, just over 1 million.
025, and they beat Raw in the 18-49, which is interesting. So yeah, I mean, and they
hard to do right now.
Yeah, not exactly hard to do, and they were like number one on cable, which is impressive since they were going up against a game 4 of the NBA Finals. Of course, they are like going by 18 to like 49 and not.
Yeah, I kind of almost that's like the most deceiving stat.
Yeah, it's
like, number one in cable. Well, not really.
If we're going by total, by
probably got it gets annihilated.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, that was a real,
but good nonetheless.
Yeah, and man, like this company is just gaining more and more steam, and judging by how their ticket sales are going, especially for the show, like Arthur Ashe, they had their freaking pre-sale on Wednesday, sold over 8,000 tickets already. This is before a general sale, which happened on like Friday. I'm like saying this on like Thursday because like since we're like dropping this on Saturday, it's like still weird. But
breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. So yeah, like just a lot of like fun things are happening there. Really excited about the build, whether it's Cody and Tommy End or Hangman and Kenny. That is going really good right there. So yeah, really fun stuff, and I don't think we have anything else here, Matt.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like that was pretty much it. So yeah, guys, that's going to pretty much do it. As we said from the start of the show, we are going to be going on vacation. I'm going to be just enjoying a week without any work. I freaking need it. So
for me on summer vacation, it's me enjoying another week without work, but in a different location.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Comment, like and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter right there by like Matt there, and we shall see you guys in like 2 weeks. So everyone have a good night.